It is Tuesday, July 17, 2017, 8:47 p.m. Roll call.
Director Zarita,
Here.
McCoy,
Here.
Sharif,
Here.
Chairperson Brown.
We will now have public comments on agenda and non-agenda items. Mr. Robert Ray.
Thank you, Robert Ray Compton. Your microphones are not working half the time up there. And the point of order I wanted to make back on the marijuana thing, you voted to reconsider the amendment, then you stopped. You did not reconsider it. That was the point I was trying to make. You agreed to reconsider the amendment, but then you just stopped and didn't do it.
You're mistaken, but
So that was my concern. Now, on Successor Agency, on this item, Best Restoration Services. This company is ripping you guys off, big time. They spent 3 months clearing the weeds at Alondra Park, which is directly behind my house. They were doing it by hand. One man had a machete, one guy has a little gas-powered weed whacker, and another man has a gas-powered rotary lawnmower to clear 18.5 acres. It's ridiculous. It took them 3 months, and now they want $150,000 for their work. Parks and Rec could have done the whole thing in 3 days with their tractor and a puller. So this company is ripping you guys off big time. Taking 3 months to clear weeds in an 18.5 acre field. It's ridiculous. Now, there's been a lot of requests for candidate forums. The AHA Neighborhood Watch Clymar Avenue Block Club is sponsoring a 2-day affair of meet and greet all of the candidates for these seats up here. February 25th, or excuse me, February 18th and February 25th, 2 consecutive Saturdays at Burrell McDonald Park at 10 a.m. We will have a meet and greet for all the candidates, very informal. On the 1st, on the 18th, will be candidates for city attorney, 2nd and 3rd council districts, and then on the 25th, all the candidates for mayor, city clerk, and city treasurer. And all registered voters are asked to come out and be there and talk to the candidates directly. Thank you.
Mr. Holyfield.
Again, Benjamin Holyfield. I reside in the 3rd district. The council lady mentioned Wilmington between Alondra and Greenleaf, Wilmington, concerning that those bushes. That is a very bad hazard. So thank you very much for bringing that to the council's attention. And that's in the same route where that left-hand turn signal. I'm very sorry that we didn't get that left-hand turn signal straightened out prior to the city manager leaving. But I'm sure we'll get it straightened out soon. It is a dangerous situation. It's a hazard. It's Walton Middle School, and also not only the children, but the community itself and the property. So I'm very sorry that we couldn't get that done prior to you leaving, sir, but we did accomplish a lot, and thank you again so much. And I'd like to say this here. A lot of our services, we spend a lot of money for cleanup and so forth. Why can't we train somebody? I've been here a lot of years, so why can't we train somebody to do a lot of this service? And we talk about 150,000, 500,000, et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes down to things for our kids and so forth, as far as their health and welfare of the kids and the community, we can't find any money. And another thing, the homeless that the Council Lady Sarita was talking about, there was a homeless program here a number of years ago, and it lasted for about 14 years. Food, clothing, shelter, including the service for church on Sunday. So a lot of these services that we're talking about, goods and services that we're talking about, was already here. We just need to bring them back together again and for the whole community to work together. Why can't we do for ourselves? And if we need the knowledge, why can't we bring in people to train us, teach us? This is what I can't understand that. We pay out millions. And we can get millions if we know how to do that too. So we need to have a round table of people who can think to bring this money into company. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holyfield. Ms. Pat Moore is no longer in attendance. Mr. Guillory is no longer in attendance. Mr. David Irons.
David Irons, resident of Compton. When you put 6 plants in a house and you burning up 300-watt light bulb, you cannot duplicate the sun. You cannot duplicate the sun, but I know who's gonna be happy about it is the Edison, because that thing is gonna spin in like that. You cannot duplicate the sun. And another thing, you talked about cultivation, but basically stuff is even fruit is better if you don't cultivate it. Collard greens is cultivated. I do not use fertilizer, I use fish. This guy's a scientist right there I'm talking to. I guess you're gonna say, so what, he's a scientist, but he is so heavy, I can't understand that guy. Like Ms. Rita said, she took it as a threat. She takes threats seriously, and I tell people all the time, I was almost beat to death at 16 years old. That guy right there was the only one that would help me come home. And I dream about it every day. And one time a guy threatened to kill me. I almost went to prison. I had a good lawyer. Oh man, I had a good lawyer because I know I was supposed to go. I mean, I didn't think I was supposed to go, but 3 people jumped on me. I took my knife out and started getting to them. Then they threw a bottle through my window, and I thought they were shooting at me. So, hey, I started returning fire. But I'm not supposed to own weapons again. The rod, that staff, they comfort me. Now, I got to stay away from evil.
Winston Dabbs.
I'm trying to figure out what is this part of the city council meeting? What is this?
This is Successor Agency.
What agency is that? I saw something, is it part of the CRA?
Yes.
What, the CRA been dissolved?
Do you wish to speak?
Well, okay, I don't know, you was talking about things that was happening. I had a problem. You guys put the medium down Long Beach Boulevard, and you guys changed the park and recreation to trim because you guys don't have enough people in public work to trim. I asked the guy, that's trimming, pulling the grass up and stuff, would you go over there on the side of the curb and get the grass that's on the curb that's right there, just hit it with the weed eater and let the grass fall over, the street sweeper would get it. And it was told to me that he's instructed not to do that. And I just found that just kind of not understanding that. It's like sweeping the dirt, you sweep your floor and you put the dirt under the rug. But I don't even know if I'm in the right form or whatever it is. I really don't understand. This is the first time I've been to a city council meeting in a whole bunch of years, and I didn't know that they had even resolved the CRA. They resolved that. It's no longer a department. No. Oh, is it separate from the city? Is it a separate entity, or it doesn't longer exist?
Successor Agency is separate.
It's a separate total thing, yeah. Well, I really wouldn't know what to say about whatever it is. I just try to find out what it was about. I didn't know. I need to come to both of you.
Juan Reynoso, Roberta Carrillo, Joyce Kelly.
You know, in this resolution for what, $150,000 for landscape cleaning or whatever, this company is not in Compton. $150,000. Can't you give it to somebody who lives here, who's concerned, and who'll keep the work up? And I'm in agreement that You know, we should have employees doing this work. If we don't have them, hire them at this amount of money. I remember, Jana, when you came, you said you were going to help eliminate some of these contractors. Asia Brown left, but I wanted to tell her, in this resolution also, it says the money is in the general fund. Well, if that's the case, why wasn't the Christmas parade in the general fund? See, aren't you glad you're leaving? Because she's going to have to get maybe 3 or 4 more months, up until maybe December, about the Compton Christmas parade and not having it. You know, when it comes to this agency and cleanup, why can't you put wood chips in those areas, in those parking lots like other cities do, and keep it from growing? And then, Asia Brown is going to talk about Martin Luther King Jr. celebration. Why didn't we have one here? She's so concerned. She cannot give me a history lesson on Dr. King. People, that regional park, Alondra Regional Park, is something that is a joke. The money was there, now it isn't. I told you that was supposed to be my park. You guys didn't do anything about it, Tana McCoy. So we cannot build a wall with names on it before we pave these streets. Think about it. The people would rather have a wall. And then Asia Brown asked the veterans, they will ask her, where is the rehab for the VFW that she promised when she wanted to put her school there? Good night.
Lambone.
Lynn Boone, City of Compton. First of all, I have to say, councilperson in District 1, you know, out here in the audience, we value our life too. You know, you talk about security. How many times have you threatened us? And we still come.
I've never threatened you.
Oh, yes, you have.
No, I have not.
Yes, you have. You've come to the end of this right here, when you was so you couldn't be on camera and giving us the finger, okay? So, you know, I don't know who said what you said to you or whatever, but, I mean, you know, when you want to run for office, you go out and you campaign. You don't have to sit up there. So, you know, you talk about security, you have security all around you. So I'm just saying, you don't have to be there if you don't want to. And this election that's coming up, it is a real important election. So I do want to tell the people, do try to attend the forums. Hopefully these won't be just forums. They will actually have the people to ask questions. And our city clerk is trying to make this election as fair as possible. So people, if you see any signs, candidate signs out right now, give the city clerk a call because they are illegal. Signs can't be put out until February the 4th? It's February the 2nd. Okay, and we do sign a disclosure that tells us what is legal and what's not legal. You know, we can't depend on Mr. City Attorney, but you do call the city clerk. And Mr. City Treasurer, just keep your head up high, okay? Because I know what's being said out there in the public. Thank you, and good night.
We have a motion for a pro tem.
So moved. I nominate Ms. Sharif.
Councilperson, Director Zarita,
Yes.
McCoy, Sharif. We're now at new business. Item number 1.
Item number 1.
I'm letting you know where we are.
Okay, thank you.
Item number 1 is a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Successor Agency to the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Compton authorizing the executive director to enter into a contract with and issue a purchase order to Best Restoration Service, Inc. for property maintenance and landscaping services on Successor Agency-owned parcels in the city of Compton in the amount of $150,000.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Just for clarification, the staff report says that this item will not impact the general fund. That's all I want to make the public aware. It will not affect the general fund.
Where the funds are coming from, the successor agency?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zuri.
I just have one question for clarification. We've been using Best Restoration since I've been here on the council, and I was just, is it required to do an RFP, or is that?
It's Cliff Graves, Assistant City Manager. It is discretionary. The contract was last bid out a few years ago. I believe it was 3 or 4 years ago. And this is an unusual contract in that it's bid for a period of time till the funds are exhausted, because you don't know how much work you're going to be doing in any one period. Okay. The last time this contract was approved was summer of last year. So no, we did not bid it out this year because we haven't had any contact with firms who could qualify, and we've been quite happy with Best work. In response to Mr. Ray's comment, I'll be happy to talk to Mr. Hunt to see if they'd like to take on that 18-acre site.
And so these funds are totally separate from the Best Restoration that are used in our Building and Safety Department?
They're separate contracts.
Same company?
Same company.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Director Zarita.
Yes.
McCoy.
Yes.
Chairperson Pro Tem Sharif.
Yes.
And you're at director's comments.
Director, Councilwoman Zarita.
Just one comment, since it was brought up in audience comments. There's been some heavy rain, and we already had heavy, deep potholes. But I've already started some discussion with the city manager to declare some of these streets as an emergency, state of emergency. Some of the streets are really bad, and I think that they are really a safety hazard now with the weaving and waving and dodging the potholes. So just to let you guys know that I do drive these streets, and the potholes are very bad, and I would just encourage everyone to be careful and keep your eyes on the road and dodge the potholes. But help is coming. Thank you. Thank you.
Brown.
Director McCoy?
No comments.
Director Sharif?
No comments, thank you.
Well, I just can't resist. I definitely agree that we are in a state of emergency with these streets, and so I truly hope that we can take action as a council and appropriate these funds so that we can fix the streets of the residents, because it is out of control and it's dangerous, and people are literally trying to avoid accidents. And it's one thing when you don't have the money, but when you do, I hope we can be responsible. So I'm looking forward to that. May we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Roll call?
Director Zarita.
Yes.
McCoy.
Yes.
Sharif.
Yes.
Chairperson Brown.
Yes.